Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. Well, welcome to Ask Me Anything. I am spiritual medium Kellee White, and I'm happy to be here today. Today, I don't have a guest. I am going to answer a lot of questions. Hi, Ardelia. Oh my gosh, from South Australia. Hi, honey. Hi, Kim Ann. Happy spring to all, she says. Hi, Lisa. Lovely to see you too. Hey, Verna. Hi, Amelia. Hi, Tracy. Hey, Julie. Hi, Lori. Hi, Marge. I love that. Marge from Ontario. Hey, Russell from the UK. Very cool. Hey, Charlene. Hi, sweetheart. I miss you. Hi, Patty. Hey, Lisa. Hi, Gloria. Oh my gosh. Hi, Renee. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Hey, Susan. Thank you. I picked out this color. My dog was like yapping to get into the bathroom, and I'm like, no, I'm getting dressed. I'm putting on a different color. Um, so thanks for noticing. Hey, Jody. Hi, Sarah. Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, this is so sweet. I love to see where everybody's from. Elisa's from Kansas City. Wow. Well, say hi to your son, Stavros, Tracy Marie. That's a great name. I miss you too, Charlene. Well, hey, Diana. God, I could just go on and on and on. This is just so much fun. I love this. And you notice I don't have a guest today. And hey, Ava. Say hi to Steve. Hey, Debbie. Yes, I love those yellow tulips too. I'm just a fanatic for tulips. Well, all flowers really. Hey, Maria. Gosh, Tippy. I love that name from Orlando. So, wasn't Bill Cinque fabulous last week? I'm so glad that so many of you have signed up for some sessions with him as a hypnotist. It's going to be great sessions, and I can't wait to have him back because he's going to be doing at some point. He's already started it, but somehow I'll bring him back on to talk about doing hypnosis for past life regression. Won't that be fun? That'll be great. And then we've had some great guests, and we had Tammy on with the animals, and we'll have her back again. Hey, Paul. Oh, much love to you, honey. And so we've had a lot of really good guests on. And in 2 weeks, we have another wonderful guest on, and his name is Patrice Bissot. And Patrice is an image consultant, and he does amazing work. He's spiritual. He's just written his second book. You guys will love him. He's from Paris. Um, I think he's in the United States right now, but you're going to love him. So that's going to be fun in 2 weeks. I'm really looking forward to that. So I thought what I would do today, I'm going to answer questions. Lori Clark is in Michigan. That's a tough place to be right now, Lori, from what I keep reading about. Let's see. I'm not sure. Amelia McLean says, spiritual meeting Kellee White. If you only know, I found out about you. It happened at a restaurant and a chair fell by itself. Wish I could tell you the story. Well, gosh, I'd love to hear that story. We'll have to, I don't know if we're doing calls today, but I would like to know that story. Maybe you could write it in. I'm glad you found out about me. It's a funny way to find out about me. Ardelia says, is Prajna Avalon energy healing going to be on anytime soon? I am so glad you asked that question. The answer is yes, she is. Yes, she is. And she's going to be on because we're going for a lot of reasons. But one of the things we're going to be talking about is we have an upcoming webinar. Prajna and I are going to have an upcoming webinar. I think it's May 29th, I think, but hasn't been announced really yet. We haven't posted it yet. And it's going to be on Lumeria and Atlantis. And it's going to be an incredible webinar. I think it's a 3-hour webinar. So I'd love everybody to join us. It's going to be really fun. Hey, Shanley. Oh my God, you're my sweet, sweet friend. I'm so glad to see you joining us when we're live. But yes, you guys will love Prajna. She's an extraordinary healer, and you will love her. So yes, I'll have her on, and we'll be talking about what we're going to be doing. And oh, that's going to be a show you don't want to miss for sure. Charlene loves Prajna. Everybody loves Prajna. How can you not? She's like the best healer ever, truly. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about astrology, and then I'm going to answer some really good questions. Oh, Lisa Randolph says music at my website is incredible. Thank you. That's my husband, Don Marquise. And he's an incredible musician. And if you haven't had a chance to listen to his new song that's on my website, you'll love it, love it, love it. So enjoy. He's got a great website. It's so much fun, and you guys will be just in heaven looking at some of his pictures from his tour. He was with Neil Diamond for 35 years and played with everybody in the world. So you guys will love that. Thank you. I love this scarf too, Lori, and this was my mom's. So I always think of her when I wear this scarf. Anyway, let's talk about astrology. A lot of you have had a tough week. I don't think it's been the easiest week. I think it actually was pretty intense, and we're not through with it yet. Okay, we're not through with it. You know, if you think about it, tax day on the 15th of April has always been kind of intense, right? It's a Six of Diamonds day, ironically, and Six of Diamonds means financial responsibility. I always thought that was so funny that it was on tax day, that if you were born on that day, that's financial responsibility. I always thought that was hysterical. So, oh, thank you, Rosie. She says, good day to you, Kellee. She says, thank goodness for you taking the time to do this show. You have saved me in more ways than you will ever know. Oh, Rosie, that makes me feel so good. I so appreciate it. And I'm glad that it has helped you. I really, really am. Um, so let's talk a little bit about tomorrow, because tomorrow, April 17th, well, not tomorrow. I'm sorry. In tomorrow, though, I do want to talk about tomorrow. April 16th is we have the sun is squaring Pluto. The sun is squaring Pluto. The sun is in Aries and it's squaring Pluto in Capricorn. So tomorrow is going to be an intense day. It's about authoritarianism. Okay, so watch the intensity of the day and avoid confrontation. Now, I must sound like every time I get on a Thursday, I'm like, no, don't do anything, untoward. But tomorrow is an intense day. You'd rather channel that energy into some really good project that you're doing or something like that. It's a pretty intense day, only to be followed by the 17th, which is also an intense day. So we've got a couple of days pretty intense. And that's Mercury in Aries, and it's squaring Pluto in Capricorn. So a lot of these things are squaring Pluto, which is the planet of surprise and undercover and underhanded and deep and dark, frankly. And so it's a lot of power struggles that day. It's also means uncovering the truth. So if there's been an issue that's been around you for a while, you might uncover all of this. It's a great time actually to do a lot of research. Okay, so the next couple of days are a little more intense, I would say this. On the 19th, we have something really interesting because we have what's called a stellium in Taurus, and that's when you have 3 or more planets in one sign. And we actually have Mercury in Taurus on the 19th. We have the Sun, which is going to be in Taurus, and we have Venus in Taurus, and we have Uranus all in Taurus. It's 4 major planets in Taurus. And this is going to be really, I would begin to say, a really incredible time because it's going to be good for concentration. It's going to be good for beauty. It's going to be good for financial. Financial is a big one here. You have to watch, overdoing it. With Taurus, we love to have, well, who doesn't? I don't know, cocktails and good food and all of that. So I guess I'm talking to myself here on the 19th. You kind of want to scale back. But anyway, so it's going to be an interesting time that we're all in right now. Ardelia says she had a dream about catching a big fish. I looked up the dream and it meant financial abundance. It does. I mean, and also it means at the same time, if you dream about a fish, it also is deep spirituality. Okay. So, I mean, if you think of Jesus with the fish, it's deep spirituality, it's abundance. So it's a lot of things. So, oh, Sandy says, hey, Sandy, who's a wonderful medium. She says, you can feel the energy rising like a wave. It's true, Sandy. Absolutely can feel it, Um, let's see. Oh, Lori Guthier Young. She says, oh my God, I need to get through my 21-page psychology capstone paper. You could do it. You could do it. Go you. I love that you're in grad school. I think this is so fabulous. You're going to love it too. So speaking of grad school, I wanted to answer a question that I thought was a great question, and this is by Tracy Hildreth, and she wrote this earlier. And I really want to answer this question before we get into other questions here. But the question she wrote to me was, how do you set a boundary with a borderline personality disorder and still be kind and generous? She said, I'm finding it difficult to hold the line without coming off bitchy or getting sucked back in. This is one of my biggest lessons, I think. So let me explain what a personality disorder is, because there are many personality disorders. You've all heard of narcissism, and narcissists, frankly, just have no empathy, flat out no empathy. They're missing a chip. And a borderline is personality disorder is somebody who has a very no core, no self core, if you will. And so their very negative thinking comes out, very toxic. The energy is almost poisonous. Everything is going to be, you feel like you are walking on eggshells. So if you're around somebody that you feel, oh my God, I'm walking on eggshells, get the book, Stop Walking on Eggshells. It's a seminal book on borderline personality disorder. And the other one is called I Hate You, Don't Leave Me. So if you've had any of that, you have been around a borderline. Borderlines are the ones that if you hook yourself up to from your arm with blood to theirs, it's not going to be enough. No matter what you do, they're always in a drama, and they're always going to make the wrong choice, the wrong decision, always. And they're going to want you to step in because they're constantly needing help and constantly needing help. But they don't take advice. They really can't. They're just neurologically, there's something the matter there. Okay. I really see it in all ways here. So you can have empathy for that piece. However, how you set a boundary with somebody with a personality disorder, whether it's a narcissist, whether it's a borderline, it doesn't really matter. You actually have to decide, okay, what behavior will you tolerate? What behavior will you take from that person? And then what will you not tolerate? And once you hit that not, I won't tolerate them texting me all the time, because that's another thing a borderline does, is they will text you 100 times. It's not going to be enough. You might have to block them. It's a really weird thing here because it pulls on you, especially if you're a good, kind person and you're thinking, gosh, I feel bad if I, say no to them. Okay, this is where you set the intention and you start doing it. It's going to say no and setting this boundary. You have to literally go, what can I tolerate and what can I not tolerate? And then you set that boundary, and it's a muscle, and you work it on and on and on, and you work that muscle until, like the answer is no. Then they have to find a new victim. Okay. And then if it's a family member, you cut them off. I mean, it gets that way, so that's how I wanted to answer that, Tracy. It really starts with what can you tolerate? What can you not tolerate? It's a tough one. That's a tough one. So let's see. What else? Let's see. Okay. Lisa Lone says, I'm living with a borderline narcissist man. And yes, if I stand in my power, um, with no attack energy, it seems to be helping. Yes, that's the problem. You have to stand in your power, and you can't give it any energy, you know, it's really tough to have it be in a relationship with one. Really, really, really tough. So good for you, Lisa. I mean, it's tough, but read the Stop Walking on Eggshells. It's a really great book, and it will give you a lot of tips, you know, because it's a good one. So okay. Oh, Tracy, good. I'm glad you got that, because so Pam Orsini, I have no idea. She says, why do I have hives all over my body? Are you really anxious right now? I mean, that's a good place to start. Are you anxious? Often that can bring up things, emotionally, what's going on in your life. I mean, ask that question, really. So another question I did want to answer too, which I thought was a good one too. And this is from my favorite, Mark Johnson. Oh, now I know your name, but I'm not going to say it online. But he says, I'm still confused about how much input spirit guides have. Can they only make very subtle suggestions and nudges? That's a great question, actually. So, spirit guides are with us all the time. Before we incarnate, we choose and we have a contract with our guide. You know, in this lifetime, you'll be our guide. And some people have one. Everybody has one at minimum, but often we have two. I have two. Sometimes I've noticed during this period of time, most of us have a lot more than that, two, three. I've seen four. Depends on what you're going through in life, actually. And so what their job is to keep us on our path so they can put things in front of us and kind of give us that nudge. So yes, like here it is. Like the chair fell down and they found my card under the table and she called me. I mean, it's something like that. That's how they work. Yeah, they do the best they can. And can you imagine being a spirit guide? I would be like, oh, for God's sakes, don't choose that. Choose this. I'll probably be a very vocal spirit guide. I'll be like, really, dumbass? You're doing that again? Um, anyway, I probably shouldn't say that. But Maura Perry Hurley says, how do you know who the spirit guides are? It's one of my specialties. I work with that. Everybody has them. And what you can do is you can sit in a meditative state. Okay, everybody can do this. You can just sit and ask your guide or guides to come to you. And all of a sudden, you'll start to feel some energy. Ask them their name. Sometimes it's easier for people to do this in a guided meditation. So I know that if you go to James's site on James Van Prague, I believe he has a spirit guide um, meditation that you can do. And it's really great because all of a sudden you really start to see them and feel them and you can hear them. Takes up practice and you have to just open yourself up to this. But it's a great thing and everybody has one. Um, Kim Ann Snodgrass says, are most guides, you're so funny, family who have passed or is it potluck? That's so funny. I love that expression, potluck. Um, so, no, most guides, okay, if you've had loss, I did a couple of readings today for people who have had loss. And I mean, that's what I do during the day. But these particular people had lost family members that were specific guides to them now. And that does happen. So that it does happen where people like my mother is definitely one of my guides. I mean, literally one of my guides. But I also have guides. So we all have our guides and then that we choose before we incarnate. And it's never just potluck. I swear to you, it is never, that is a real, it's their gifts to us. And it's a real thing that we choose before we come in, before we're born. On the other side, we're putting together our life. And we choose a guide, they choose us. And it's the one that will work the best for us during this incarnation, you know? So it's a good thing. Potluck though, that's really funny. I think my guides are like this right now, potluck. And Margaret, it's funny, isn't it? It's hysterical. Um, like the Methodist Church potluck. Actually, that's what I was thinking. That's very funny. My husband's like, I can't stand casseroles, so he's like, you have to live a long time. I don't want, I don't want to eat casseroles. Um, oh my God. So Sandy says, I always feel like mine want to go drink and have wine after I've been talking to them. Oh, for sure. I swear I can see my guys sitting there with martinis going, do you believe this shit? Um, Rosie says, I was told one of my guides is a nymph, as in an or I'm not going to go there. I don't know. It's possible. I mean, a nymph, I think you mean as like like one of the earth. God, not earth angels, but they're the ones that are like in that kingdom, in the earth kingdom. I think you're talking about. Um, Um, so Lori says, does this include ascended masters? Yes, Lori, it certainly does. And when I started off, she says, I have Moses. So Jesus is an ascended master. Archangel Michael is an ascended master. Moses is an ascended master. I have know many people that work along this community. Moses is not exclusive to one person. So it would definitely be anybody could call on him, or Solomon, or any of them that are ascended masters. Absolutely. So I actually had worked with Moses. It sounds like a funny statement to say back in the day, but when I started off my mediumship, I saw him often, and other people would come up to me and say, "I have I have a message for you." I'd be like, "From whom?" And they would say Moses. I go, "What?" And this happened all the time. So it was very interesting. Yeah, earth spirits, Celeste, thank you. Fairies, that's what I was trying to get to. Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. Um, Maria says, Carp Diem says, how do we connect with our spirit animals or know which animals are indeed trying to work with us? Um, it's a great question. And one of the ways to answer that is if you have dreams of animals. Like for me, I've always had dreams of tigers all the time. And it's not just like one dream, it's several constant dreams with tigers. And it's always several in my dream, five, six. I mean, it's like a circus act. And I love tigers. So, not the Tiger King, I'm not the Tiger Queen, but I do love tigers. And I know that that's one of my spirit guides, spirit animals. And so it comes to you in a dream, or let's say you're lucky enough to be near the beach and you look up and you see all these dolphins coming up. Immediately know that that would be a totem for you, or if you dream of whales or if you dream of bears. I mean, keep a dream journal for goodness sakes, because that's often how you're going to get your spirit animal. Or the other way is just having a knowing. You could go into a meditation and all of a sudden feel an animal near you. A lot of people have horses as their spirit animal. But yeah, people do have them very, very much. Everybody has that. Rebecca Briggs Baker says, I'm interested in studying destiny cards. Can you recommend a resource with training? I would go to Robert Camp's website. It's called, I think it's seventhunders.com. And he always has a lot of teaching there. So you would learn a lot about the destiny training there. They do a ton of stuff. So, and Sarah Jones says, I used to have dreams about horses all the time. Horses represent freedom. As a totem, represents freedom. And there's a great homeopathic remedy based on horses as well, too. But it's about freedom and adventure, getting out, not being constrained. So it's a great one. It's a great one. What if you don't dream about animals? Hey, Jennifer Kirk, did I go to grad school with you? You were wonderful. If you don't dream about animals, that's fine too. Do you have a connection to any animal? Are you sensitive to animals? Dogs, cats? It could be anything. So that's how I'm going to answer that one. Oh, okay. So Lisa Phillips says, I see wolves. Wolves is a really powerful one because wolves represent they're shapeshifters, and coyotes also big time shapeshifters, and crows, shapeshifters. So shapeshifters they call them tricksters. They could go one way and then they kind of change things up for you. So I know whenever I have seen a coyote, I'm like, oh boy, here we go. What's going to happen next? Oh, Tracy, you're so lucky. She said I had hundreds and hundreds of dragonflies come into your yard. Wow, that's a lot of change, a lot of transformation, a lot of deep spirituality. Dragonflies represent all kinds of amazing, deep spiritual life changes. So that's amazing, Tracy. You should get a video of that or something. Wouldn't that be fun to see? Wow. And they're so pretty. They come in so many different colors. Wendy Ann says, I always have two crows around me. So crows they're supposed to be the smartest animal on the planet, I think. I mean, they represent family. So Wendy Ann, they would be there to help with family, actually. And often we'll see, okay, so Ray Testa says, I see hawks and ravens. And hawks are the male totem or for psychic ability. And when you see hawks, they're really the watchers of all. I mean, hawks and eagles are too. And owls represent the female totem for psychics. And they're the ones that come out actually at night, and hawks are during the day. So always pay attention, to all these. Yes, ladybugs do mean something, and I can't remember what it is, Julie, but if you Google ladybug totem, hey, Cece, how are you doing, honey? If you Google ladybug totem, you'll get your answer. I mean, it's a good totem, as I recall. They're all good totems, all of them. Oh, Donna Hyde says she has a great love for dogs. So dog would probably be your totem then. Okay, elephants. Shannon Jones, let me just talk about that for a second. Elephants are the most sensitive animals on the planet, the most sensitive. And again, another homeopathic remedy, elephant remedy, is really quite extraordinary. Elephant means very sensitive, family oriented. They don't want to be hurt. They don't want to hurt others, and they don't want to be hurt. They're really empathic, and I always can spot when I'm working with somebody who is elephant remedy because they're highly attuned and highly sensitive. So it's a amazing one. Hi, Natica. Hello, everybody. Hey, Melissa. Red tail hawks are my birds, Celeste. So that would make you very mediumistic. I mean, red tail hawks are very important. Oh, wow. Lisa Phillips says I have two Congo African gray parrots, and they were totem birds in equatorial Africa. Wow, that's amazing that you have them. That's amazing. I mean, that has a significance to it. So that's a. Oh, I love this. Diane Hawk says I have hawks flying outside my office all the time. Plus, my last name is Hawk. Okay, that's not a stretch. You don't have to go too far to know what your totem is. That's really funny. I love that. I think that's wonderful. So I think that's a good one. So let me answer another question here because there were a couple of good questions that I wanted to get to. Um, let's see. Where was that other one? Um, okay. So Carol Ailes, I'm seeing 2222. I'm currently debating if I want to go back volunteering in a public nonprofit where masks are not required. My gut is saying no. Is 2222 related to the debate? Thank you. Yes. It's saying go with your gut. Go with your gut, honey. If your gut is saying, I don't want to do this, I'm not comfortable, then don't do it. I mean, really, don't do it. 2222 does represent, the changes in your ability to manifest the outcome you want. So if you are ready to manifest a new outcome, do it. And this is a really good time, by the way, for everybody to really not only set your intentions, start working towards what you want in life. It's a great time for that. It's a wonderful time for this. Okay, Mary Baker says my power animal is bald eagle. Go you. That's really takes you to a soaring place too. I mean, eagles represent the eyes of everything as well. So really, really powerful. Shanley says, "Hey Shanley, can your animal totem change over time?" Absolutely, absolutely. Because as we grow, and it's a great question, as we grow, we need other totems that come in. Life is very full of growth here. And so nobody's going to get stuck at one place. So let's say you've had one totem for a long time. You need a kick in the ass for something else. All of a sudden, some other something comes around and gets you going, some other animal or bird or insect or something that comes to get you going and get you to the next level of where you're supposed to be, because all of us are constantly on a growth path. This is what we come here. So Renee Martinez says, how about 6666? I saw this today on a license plate. Can you share the meaning? Yes, 6666 is about balance. It's not a scary number. I know people, like, 666. No. It doesn't work that way. 6 means balance. And if you see 4 6s, it's getting your life, it means your life is going to balance. It's going to balance itself out. And here's the other thing. They also, license plates are one of the greatest ways to get messages from your guides, okay, from your spirit guides. One of the greatest, because all of a sudden a car will come up in front of you. And I mean, I don't get to drive actually anywhere anymore. Um, but back in the day, before COVID, um, I would always, look at license plates because I think they're exactly, how you're supposed to get messages from your guides. So pay attention to that. Oh, thank you, Sandy. My husband gave this to me. It's an opal. She asked me about my necklace, and I love it. Robins. I love robins, Anne Margaret, but not as much as I love your name. um, So, Shanley says she was surrounded by hummingbirds. So hummingbirds, I'm so glad that you're talking to them because hummingbirds really bring joy and remember upliftment. So we're not here to be just stuck in a mess. We're not here to be stuck in a mess. These animal totems will lift us up, take us to the next journey. By the way, brought on with our spirit guides. I mean, when we um, incarnate, we come with a team. You may not be able to see them. It's an invisible team, but they're angels. And in fact, James and I are going to be doing a show on angels and guides or angels. Let's see. I think in 2 or 3 weeks. I think that. But now is a good time to tell you about something that we have coming up, which is really, really exciting. And Renee, if you would put that banner up, because this is very, very exciting. On May 22nd, remember Dr. Shirley and Pellizzari? So Dr. Shirley and Pellizzari and Carrie Gonia. So Carrie Gonia does family constellation therapy, and me, the three of us and I are going to do Roots of Healing. And it's an all day, it's a 7 hour webinar, and it's going to be on Zoom. And we're going to be talking about amazing things because it's going to be looking at the roots of healing, like what happened to us and how do we heal from there. Shirley's going to be talking about attachment and our roots of attachment. How did we attach to our families? How do we attach to our loved ones? What's our style? She's going to be working with what kind of attacher you are actually with attachment. It's going to be really great. And the three of us work really well together because we all come from a different point. Oh, Tracy, I'm so glad you guys are gonna love this. It's really gonna be an amazing day for us. And so Shirley will be talking about attachment. Carrie is going to be talking about family constellation. She's going to help you understand, like multi-generational trauma. It's going to be really powerful. And I'm going to be talking about the soul, the spirituality, spiritual perspective of life. Why do we incarnate to begin with? And the three of us are going to combine this. So it's going to be really, really great. And it's an all day thing. So you'll have some breaks in between, but it's really going to be great. So if you can join us on May 22nd, and it's 9 a.m. Pacific time. So it's going to be really fun. It's going to be great. You're going to love that. Hi, Lori Counts. You've got a spirit dog. That's who you've got. I'm glad you've been using your spirit team. That's great. So, oh, Anne Margaret, I met you at James's event in 2017 in Encinitas. I probably did. I'm sure I was there. I love it. I love all these events. I miss going to all these events. But anyway, if you guys get a chance, the other thing I'm doing on Sunday, this Sunday, I'm speaking. I think I'm the keynote speaker at with Karen Glass, another wonderful medium, and that's on this Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time. And I'm going to be telling everybody how I became a medium. That's right, not the old-fashioned way. So I think you're going to love it. It's going to be fun. So if you have time on Sunday, that's going to be fun. Um, will there be an archive of the Roots of Healing to join in late? I think so. I don't know, Shanley. That's a good question. I don't know. I have no idea how that's going to work yet. But there's a lot of good things to be coming up. Shirley and I are going to be doing a trauma workshop also in June. So that's going to be really interesting. I was going to say fun, but I don't know. um, So I'm not sure how that works, but it's going to be, we have an interesting time. So, and if you've taken any of our webinars, we answer a lot of questions, and it's going to be a lot of groups that are broken up. So we can, we can take time with everybody. I think it's going to be very good. So Lisa Hendricks, I'm sorry, I'm having trouble pronouncing a little bit of the names here, but hoping my mother and I have finally broken the karmic chains that have bound us by hurt. Oh, I hope so too. I forgave her and now she's terminal with lung cancer. They gave her 6 months. Bless your heart. This will be, Lisa, I have chills when I say this, probably the most important 6 months of your life. Certainly her life. Okay. So this is where that shift has got to be made into, loving kindness, empathy, compassion. This is what we call the meat of the lifetime. This is like really it for you. So it's the most important time here. It will give you the most extraordinary experience, and uh, it's what we call the beauty of life. Usually you have an opportunity to get that, if you can, to get that forgiveness piece in, you know. So good for you, honey. That is a big one right there. Um, anyway, and Margaret, you took our siblings one. That was a good one, wasn't it? that was a powerful one. I enjoyed that one. How do you join on Sunday? I think if you go to my website, Cece, I think it's on my website, kelleewhite.com, or is it on Facebook? I can't remember. It might be on my spiritual medium, Kellee White. I can't remember exactly. So Lisa Phillips says, Kellee, if you dream about going somewhere, someplace, and then you end up there and have deja vus, does it mean you're in the right place? Absolutely. 100%. Even if you've had that feeling like I always wanted to go to Greece or I always wanted to go to wherever, do it, act on it, because your soul is giving you a heads up. Hey, we have work to do there. We want to be there. Come on, let's go. So, Kim Ann says, you and James have spoken about fairies, elementals. That was the word. Where do you stand on cryptids like Bigfoot, a mammal undiscovered of being another realm? Probably exists. I don't know. I hope he's not in my backyard on my farm. Um, they probably exist. I mean, I think people have seen these things for a long time. I think there's a lot of things that exist, you know. Um, so that's a okay. Kathleen says Egypt for me. Yeah, me too, Kathleen. Every time I was supposed to go on a tour, and I'll tell you who gives a great tour of Egypt is Dr. Kathy Forti, Forti, and she's got one coming up in, I think it's October, but I can't remember. And again, with the way the world goes, I'm hoping that she is still doing it, but I don't know for sure. But you could go to her website, and her website is Trinfinity8, I believe, .com, Trinfinity8. And she is doing an Egypt trip, and her trips are extraordinary. Sadly, I've missed the last 3 for personal reasons. I couldn't go. But, and if the world was really clear, I'd be going a lot right now, but we'll see. We'll see how that is. Let's see. Christine Meehan says, would a nerve stimulator used for migraines block your third eye? I use it daily, and I'm always worried that I'm doing more harm than good. I'm not sure what a nerve stimulator is for migraines, but no, I don't think it would block it. I would think the migraines would. I think the migraines would, because when you're in pain, and migraines frequently, not always, are repressed anger. So are you angry? I mean, what's under the hood there with migraines? Not everything, but it could be. Lori Count says, seems as if there are a lot of tests right now. Boy, that's an understatement for all of us, and it's for the advancement of all of our souls. Right on, honey. Exactly. I mean, if you think, we had 2020 was a test. I mean, I don't know, test is a funny word, but it's time for big growth. And people don't really like that part of when they come down here. They don't like the growth part, but that's what our guides live for, frankly. They they love that, you know. Kathleen Fleming says, I'm scared to fly. Oh, honey. Well, you might want to see Bill Sinkay about that because he does work with the fear of flying, you know. Um, I mean, if it's that kind of a fear. Lisa Phillips says, Kelly, if you dream about going somewhere, someplace, yeah, I just answered that. Yes, it is the right place then for you. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, Shannon, Kathy. Yeah, she's great. Oh, Julie, West Switzerland. I love Switzerland. I couldn't. I would love to go anywhere right now. Um, I'll take anywhere, and I'm hoping that James and I can travel again soon, whenever that will be, because I always love that. It's always so much fun to be with him when we travel. Um, so let's see, what else can I answer here for everybody? Laura Parmley Hoffman says, how do you help a young child deal with feeling a spirit in their bedroom? So, um, is the young child feeling, it is actually feeling something in the room? Well, it's a good question. I mean, you want to be really mindful of of their age. You don't want to put any fear into it. Zero fear. Say, oh, I would start with, let's talk about angels. I would actually start them up on the angel path with this, because feeling a spirit often is an angel when it's around a young child. So you want to start in the most loving way, that there are spirits, there are angels, not to put any fear in them, you know. And then as they get older, as they increase in age, then you would, talk to them a little more, but always mindful of the age that they are, so they, um, because it could be scary, it could be a scary thing, or it can be a really unbelievable thing. So, oh, thank you, Melissa. She says, so good to see me live. Thank you so much. Um, Carissa Carrington says, do you know anyone who works with people who have a deep fear of driving? I do. His name is Bill Sinkay. And there's two things I would do with deep fear of driving. And I've had this case many, many times, believe it or not. And I always send them to get on a homeopathic remedy with Dr. Robert Gramlich, because Dr. Gramlich sees people all over the world on Zoom. They believe that your vital life force gets stuck somewhere along the line. And in your case, it would have been, the fear would have gone to moving forward, the driving part. So I'm not sure what hit that mark. Were you in an accident? If you were, or any of that, then Bill Sinkay would be excellent for that. And if you also, if you need something even further, if it's deeper than that, because I've had people that it's been really deep on that one, you may need a homeopathic remedy. Okay. Shannon says, I need Bill then for flying. Yes. Um, so let's see. Kim says, if you have itchy travel feet, which I do, I can tell you, you can currently travel to Belize, Mexico, Costa Rica, Iceland, and Croatia. As I have told you, I'm in the travel industry. Oh my God, that's right, honey. I forgot about that. I have always wanted to go to Croatia with you, Charlene. One day we're going to go to Croatia. Um, so Kathy Pengelly says, how do you help a young child who hears voices so is scared to go into a room? That's another. So what are they hearing? What kind of, is it? And I would keep it as upbeat as possible when you're dealing with a young one. Upbeat. Everything's okay. What are you hearing? And that way they don't shut it down. And that way they come to you. You want to be the go-to. Find out what's going on. Like that. This is how you have to, if my baby grandson was talking to me about this, I would say, okay, come on, tell me all about it. That's what I would be doing. Oh, I still have not been to Machu Picchu, Kim Ann. That is another place I really want to go. Oh my gosh, so much. Um, so Melissa Bolter says to Lori Hoffman, this could be her spirit guide letting her know they are near. That's true. I know many experience they're tickling their spines and sending shivers. That's another way too. That's pretty accurate. I mean, you can feel the energy, with spirit guides. Sometimes you will get chills. Absolutely. Um, this is a good question. Lisa Lisa Lot Wanshur says, "Are there certain scents that promote or encourage lucid dreaming?" Great question. I would think, um, God, I mean, maybe lavender. I mean, I don't know this because I'm not in the scents business. Am I saying that right? Scent business. But I always have things like around my, like I have bergamot. I love that. But I have different smells that I just love. I love lemon. I don't think it's lemon for that. But that's a good question. If you find out the answer, let me know. Um, Charmaine Vitzik says, "My husband and I were hit by a giant tree, dear God, going over 60 miles per hour. It crushed our car and we walked away. Shook me for years. Dear God, makes me shake just hearing that story. That's an unbelievable story. Wow. Poor thing. Yeah, that would be beyond trauma. I mean, that's the kind of trauma that's really traumatic trauma. Um, like a trauma specialist for that one. But you walked away. So that I would have to say your guides were really on it. You both walked away with a crushed car and a giant tree. I have a really good friend who a tree fell, missed her, and it was a giant tree. It was like 40 feet. I mean, it was something crazy that went across the street and in Los Angeles actually, and it missed her by about 3 or 4 inches. I thought, wow, she's the luckiest person I know, because that's just an unbelievable one. Wow. Oh, I know. I love bergamot too. I just love it. Well, thanks, Kim. I so appreciate all of that. Um, Gretchen White says, "My eyes move back and forth like in REM sleeping when I start to meditate." Okay. I find myself crying also. Is my body adjusting to bring it in spirit, or there could be something else underlying? Well, there are a lot of emotions that come up. If you sit in the stillness, a lot of emotion comes up. So, what kind of life have you had? Have there been traumas? Have there been sadness? Are you in grief? I mean, you want to look at all of those things that would make emotion come up. Um, I mean, is it your body adjusting to spirit? I think it's something else. I I think it's you're quiet and still enough to bring things up. Great question though. Really great question. I would really concentrate on what's going on with you. I feel it now, Gretchen says. Okay. Wonder if is it pain and sadness? Are you sad? It could be any of the above. Oh, Amy Augustine says she goes to Dreamcatcher something or rather a Young Living. Oh, I love Young Living ones. Those are the wonderful. I'd say they're the best. They're such good essences. Young Living, and I don't sell it again. But I happen to love their stuff. So So Sandy says fear of surrendering something when their eyes go back and forth. It's giving up your power to receive. Very good, Sandy. Anne Margaret says, "Do I ever see shadows moving while in the bed, like a shadow of a spirit? Room is dark at bedtime." Now, right now, Don is laughing his ass off on this because here's the thing: the moment my head hits that pillow, I'm gone. I'm what they call the greatest sleeper in the world. I'm almost embarrassed by it. Such a good sleeper. So I don't see that, but I know what you're saying because people have always brought this to me. Um, yeah, perhaps. Could it be spirit? Could it be? Of course. I mean, absolutely, it could be. What am I saying? Yeah, absolutely. Um, Thank you, Gretchen. I love the scarf too. Oh, I didn't know Jack Canfield was a huge seller of Young Living. Wow. Okay, that's interesting. Wendy Ann says James's 28-day transformation may help understand what is causing the crying during meditation. Wonderful course. Excellent idea, Wendy Ann. Excellent idea. That's such a good one. Oh, Lori Counts, you're absolutely right. I forgot about Palo Santo, and a wonderful friend gave me some recently. Um, the Palo Santo. I love it. And clove oils. Oh, here she says for lucid dreams. Thank you. So she says rose, sandalwood, Palo Santo, and clove. Oh, wow. For lucid dreams. Thank you for that one. Oh, I have to remember that. That's great. And lucid dreams are the kind that come to you that are so real. You'll say it was so lucid, it was so real that you are actually having a visitation or somebody, you're having a message, you're getting a message with a lucid dream. You know, that's and that also is a cleansing agent. You're right, Melissa. She said it's a cleansing agent too. So I think that is hope. I'm going to say this. I'm going to give you a message from spirit. It's okay. Everything's going to be okay, honey. I know that you've had a lot of anxiety, and I want to say that you're going to be okay. Don't give up on anything, is what I'm getting for you. Okay, don't give up. Here we go. At all. Um, so yeah, don't give up on anything. Here we go. Let's see. What other kind of questions can I answer for people here today? Let's see. I had another question here. So, okay, Julie West says, I was wondering, when someone passes in a family, then a month later, another family member passes, do they know what they died from when they go to the other side? Yes. Yes, they do, honey. They do. And first of all, it's a lot of loss in a family when one member goes and then another one goes right after that. They always catch up. They do know what they passed. Um, and that's a tough one to have a family when you lose both of them. That is a tough one. Okay. Sandy Ward says Palo Santo is a very good thing to burn if you feel very heavy energy on your property around yourself. It's a good cleansing to take heavy, dark energy away. Oh, thanks, Sandy. You're absolutely right. It is. And I actually love the smell of it. I think that's, um, so let's see. Okay. This is very interesting. Jody W says, I will see clearly a person in my peripheral vision. Okay. So when I look, it's always some random object like a plant or just the chair. I was walking in the woods and saw a woman pass. It was a fence post. Are these really spirits, not just my mind running away with imagination? If so, how do I bring them into better focus and communicate? Often you'll see spirit like that peripherally. It just is the way sometimes it is. Sometimes you see it smack on, depending on, or sometimes it's in your third eye. Most mediums, it's in their third eye. Listen, you don't want to be seeing spirits all the time. I'll tell you why. It's annoying, it gets in your way, it's distracting, and it's scary. It's all the above. So most of the time when I see things, it is if I get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, or if my dog barks and gets me up, and that's when it'll catch my attention. Because again, I sleep like a light. Light went out. I don't know, Joanne, how to. I have a certain thing the way I burn Palo Santo. I have a certain little thing that I place it on, and I like that. Let's see. Um, I don't know. Oh, Michelle says, I'm guessing it's Facebook, but every time you and James have a show, the video and sound break up. Oh, I'm so sorry, honey. Wow. Okay, so Kim Ann says, just wondering about the question I posted earlier this week about a psychic telling me once that, oh, that's the one I wanted to answer. Thank you, Kim. This is a really good question. A psychic told her once that weight issues were always related to sexual abuse. It makes sense, but seems like a broad statement when she said always, so I questioned it. So sometimes it is, and often it is not. Okay. It certainly can be because you will gain weight to protect yourself to keep people away from you. And but it's never an always situation. Okay. Sometimes you just like to eat and you get older, you gain weight. But sometimes, I don't know who I'm talking about, but sometimes it is from sexual abuse, but it's never an always thing. Okay. Um, Debbie Foster Horan says, what does it mean when you have lucid dreams about boats? As a general theme, but different scenarios. Well, boat is a way of movement, and it's on the water, and water is deep emotions. So it's your way navigating your way through emotions. Really, it's a very good, very clear for me. So this is good. Are you driving the boat, or is somebody else driving the boat? That what you want to look at. CC Otto says, how can I tell my third eye is open? Um, you'll start, sometimes you can actually feel the third eye is right here, and you can actually start to feel a little tingling there. You can start to you can start to know things. It's like it's another muscle there, and it starts to open up. Sometimes fast in my case, sometimes slowly in other cases. But it's a how you sense things. So start practicing sensing things, and you'll be amazed at how that can open up pretty quickly on. Okay. And it's also take really good care of yourself. Celeste Campio says, yes, any weight can keep you from moving forward. Oh, absolutely. Now, Melissa, you're absolutely right. Healers eat to get grounded. Very true. Some smoke, some drink, some eat. That's very, very true. Um, and Charlene says it's the person's endocrine system. Yep. Now, Debbie says, what happens when the boat sinks? Well, are you in the boat when it sinks? If you're in the boat when it sinks, then are the emotions pulling you so far down that you can't control it? Or it's really if a boat is sinking and you're in it in a dream, or if it's your dream, it's not because something bad is going to happen if you go out on the water. It's, I mean, unless you're not, that's usually it's not the case. It's always water represents emotions. So if you're on a boat and it's sinking, what's going on in your life that you need to take some energy or take some action on to deal with your emotions? Might feel overwhelming. It sounds overwhelming, actually. Oh, this is a great question. And Christine Meehan, I get asked this question all the time about a third eye. Can Botox block your third eye? That's a great question. Possibly, possibly, sure. Yeah, because yeah, possibly and probably. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I don't want to go there, but probably. That's a really good question. Okay. Um, Lori counts third eye for me. I immediately know when I'm near someone more that I want to know sometimes. Absolutely. That's absolutely right. That is so, so true. Um, I want to get to this question. I love this. Susan Spinelli Bucci says, what does, wait, where did it go? What does this mean that both of my sons were born on the 5th of a month and both were premature? Wow. Well, I'm not sure which month they were both born on, but the 5th, they're both on, say, like, I don't know, August 5th, September 5th, or something. What the 5th? Well, 5 means change. They came in early. And if they come in early, it's because they actually would have planned it this way. I mean, there's no accident here or there. They would have wanted for a lot of reasons. Maybe they needed you to be more present early on. Maybe they needed, they had to get that birth date, so they came in early. Who knows why they choose a certain thing and why they come in early? But it's for a reason of that their spirit would know. But 5 means change. You watch them. I think it's going to be great. Oh, thank you, Tracy. She says, I just love you. Thank you for all you do for me and everyone. Oh, thanks, honey. Um, so Janny Roberts says, can you explain a dream where I was at the funeral of an acquaintance and then she sat up in the casket? Okay, well, it was your dream. Okay, so how do you feel about that person? Were you trying to kill that person off? And she sat up in the casket? That's really funny. I don't think it's because she's, gonna die again. Wouldn't that be something though? Um, but I think it's, how do you feel about this person? You know, and it's an acquaintance. I don't know. That's a good question, but I think it's more emotional. I would. Um, so that would be an unbelievable dream. So, okay, Laura Parmley Hoffman says, "How do you open your third eye?" Again, how I think the best way to do it is you're in a meditative state. Start to practice meditation every day, every day, every day, every day, and you want to start sensing things, which is exactly what. what is happening around you. Get a sense of what's asking about certain people, getting a sense of it, and you start working that muscle of intuition. It's intuition. Start having fun playing intuition games of, what color is going to come up next, or what number am I going to see next, or I don't know. Start getting into that real intuitive state, and take really good care of yourself. And meditation is the best way to actually get that muscle going to it. So, oh, and Margaret, I was already talking about the stars earlier, but it is a funny night. It is a funny. Thank you. It is a funny night. Um, Christine Meehan says my neurologist recommended Botox for migraines, but not having forehead lines also made me happy. Right on. I get it. Kathleen Fleming, will I find my other half? Be your other half and be whole, and then find someone. Be whole and then find someone. That's the best way to do it. Always, always. Jennifer Poole, great question. What do I think about when a person and all the lights in the room blow out literally? Oh, that was a problem I had with energy. Oh, I'd walk into a room and the lights would blow out. It caused a lot of problems in my life. And I know my friend Charlene knows about that. Yeah, so, it means the vibration of the person is rising. That's exactly what it means. Vibration is getting higher and higher, and their body is trying to acclimate to it. And so an energy comes up and up and up and up and up, and then kaboom. It got to a point where I blew out 7 computers, and my mother said, "You got to go. You can't be in this house." Yeah, it was a drag. Let's see. Oh, thanks everybody. James, hi, honey. How do you? Wait a minute, James. Wait, this is my favorite question all night. How do you remain such a lovely person in this tough time? Well, I have you to help me with this, and I so appreciate that. And on Monday, James and I love you, James. Thanks, honey. James and we have a great guest on Monday night, and that is Peter Redgrave. And you guys are going to love him. He does transformation in life. And this is going to be one of your favorite shows of all times, Monday night with Peter. He's such a lovely, kind man, and he's had the most amazing experiences. And you guys are going to love him. He's going to help all of us with changing, making the next step in life. This man can do it. You're going to love his energy. He helped James. If it weren't for him helping James, not only would I not be here, but none of you guys would be listening, because he helped James help him get he calls himself a professional nudge. So join us on Monday, because that's going to be a lot of fun. So listen, everybody, have a wonderful night. Thank you, Renee. Love you all. We'll see you soon.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.